welcome to Wildly Curious, a podcast that tells you everything you need to know about nature, probably more than you wanted to know. I'm Laura.
And I'm Katy, and this is the fourth episode, I didn't count, fourth episode of Bog Banter, where we just talk about stuff found in bogs. So this is our mini-series break, mini episodes in between seasons of mid-seasons.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
So we'll be picking up the next season in January. Until then, we're going to just be talking about bogs and stuff.
Bogs, because they're cool, and we find cool stuff in them.
Yeah.
Kind of like the caves. It's ironic because the last one that I did was not actually found in a bog, but resulted from a bog.
From a bog, yeah.
Same with this one.
Oh, interesting.
So this one is pickled dinosaur brains.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, I was like, surely there's something in a bog other than a person.
Yeah.
And so I found dinosaurs. So where was this found? It's like a palm-sized fossil was found by a beachcomber, because of course it was.
Of course. Some people have all the luck.
All the luck. They were beachcombing a tide pool in southern England in 2004 and just happened to find
Dinosaur brains.
This chunk of rock. I don't even know how they knew what it was, but they were like, oh, well, okay, here's this thing. And
weird thing.
right? I mean, they must have known it was a fossil or something.
Or just stood out and they just took it and was like, I don't know what this is. Help.
Yes. And so some archaeologists took a good look at it and found the following. It appears to be 133 million years old and from either basically one of two species, probably, or not species, but genus, beryllium or Hypsilospinus, both of which are iguanodon-like.
Ooh,
so,
okay.
Iguanodons most people are familiar with, or if you've seen the movie Dinosaur, like the Disney movie Dinosaur, that's an iguanodon.
Yep.
So something like that, some plant-eating dinosaur. And from looking at it under a microscope, it seems that this dinosaur fell into a bog, which is really fortunate for us since bogs kind of preserve everything.
Unfortunate for him.
And yes, unfortunately for him. And who knows why? Did he fall into a bog? Was he already dead when he fell into the bog? Whatever.
Yeah.
Went in. His body happened to flip over so that his head was resting at the very bottom.
Interesting.
Also fortunate because it needed that to happen. And then the acid and the salt in the bog literally pickled his brain. But not pickled as in still soft tissue. That would be cool, but no. Yeah. This has been way too long for that. So if you remember in a past episode that I said, first comes decomposition stops, and then tanning and leathering, and then eventually demineralization of bones and mineralization of other soft tissues.
Yeah.
Which is, if you also go back and listen to one of our fossil episodes, we talked about basically how fossils form, which is minerals take the place of other tissues.
Yeah.
So minerals took the place and made an exact copy of the brain inside. This is only a piece of that. So unfortunately, we don't have the whole brain. We just have a small piece. But it is amazing what you can see. So looking under the microscope, you can see the meninges, which is the membrane that surrounds the brain. You can see...
It's so detailed.
Oh my gosh, right? The membrane, and then underneath appears to be the cortex, because they can see a crisscross of capillaries and the wrinkles and folds of a brain.
Gosh, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, pretty detailed, and enough that they see that it does show some similarities with crocodiles and bird brains, as far as at least the small snippet that they can see.
Yeah.
There's also, either because of the way it fell and gravity made the brain settle and be against the skull. So could have been caused by gravity.
Yeah.
Or could have been that their brain actually did take up their entire skull, which is different than crocodiles and birds, because they have way more, it actually doesn't fill up their whole head. There's a lot of other stuff in there, blood. So could be larger brain, but also could just be gravity. And they're not sure, and they won't know that. But they can give you some real insight into, what did their cortex actually look like? Was there wrinkles and folds?
That's crazy.
And we know that usually wrinkles and folds and has to do a lot with intelligence and things like that.
Especially
for
the reptile. Would you stop?
Freaking randomly discovered dinosaur brain fossil in a tide pool. How did they know what it was that they found was significant? I don't know, but they did.
Jeez. Again, it goes. Some people have all the luck.
Keep
You
your
know?
freaking eyes peeled, people. You never know. It could be dinosaur poop that you found. It won't
Yeah.
even look like anything.
Yeah.
Keep every rock you find.
Take it from us. Keep every rock you find. That was a cool one. That was a really cool one.
Yeah, it's not very long, but like definitely like, oh, cool. Guess
Yeah.
what? We do know what a dinosaur brain looks like because of that.
Yeah,
Which
because
is
of
epic.
a bog. Yeah, because of
Yeah.
a bog. That's really cool. All right, guys. Well, make sure you go and support us on Patreon if you can. It helps us to keep bringing you content. It helps to pay for all of this. And then, like I said, next week, I'm also going to talk about a non-body bog find.
Non-body bog.
And then come January, then we will have our new season then. So,
It'll be soon.
all right, bye.
Bye.